welcome to the Do It All Dad Year podcast. Dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids with comedy can make our kids great again. And this is episode 119. Miss More Than Mommy. Exterior, Heaven, Joan Rivers. Speaking. Clinton body count is still trending on Twitter, Anthony. Anthony Bourdain replies, up for a titty fuck, Joan? Joan Rivers says, I thought you never asked. Shit, God, can you zap Bourdain's foreskin off in a flash? Can I get a holla for some more effusive Joan Lives A+ Gemery in her honor? Holla! If a boy is born 100% gay, does he suck down booby milk regardless because he doesn't know what his preferred oral fixation is yet? Ha! Bette Midler claims Trump pays black people to pose in pictures with him because Kanye West became famous for going out of his way to please his white slave masters in the song Black Republicans. And Jim Brown makes bank reforming gangbangers, I'm sure. Bette Midler. Baby boomer bust personified. Claims Trump pays black people to pose in pictures with him. Because Kanye West and Jim Brown are the Wayne Brady and OJ of their day. You dumb bitch. And Candace Owens is the help for Jerry Nadler offline moron. D.L. Hewley calls Trump supporters lower than Satan worshippers. You're a reformed gangbanger who's at the right place at the right time. You make Kevin Hart sound Paul Mooney deep in comparison. At least show a strain of a talented, funny comedian. This is Bill de Blasio debating Trump. De Blasio, you won't be welcome back to New York. Trump replies, I worked with Ed Koch to rebuild the Woolman Rink in Central Park under budget. Charter school cockblocker let AOC cockblock Amazon's move to Queens. End of story. My Trump is sounding a lot like Dice. What's new? De Blasio, again, you don't know what's right for New York. Trump replies, you turn New York into a sanctuary city, which is encourage lawlessness, you dumb mook. You use NYPD to protect the head of Antifa outside his Brooklyn pad, Lena Laker. Babyface Omar says, be more fearful of white men than jihadists because blowing up buildings to bang virgins in the afterlife is no indicator of knee-jerk jihadi having enough blood on his hands already. Babyface Omar says, be more fearful of white men than jihadists. I know, because so many jihadists are known for their animated senses of humor involving making fun of you-know-who. New York Times. The New York Times letting Babyface Omar write op-eds means Steven Spielberg is off their Kwanzaa party invite list. A girl from my past who I met at Westchester Community College who grazed on my meat mallet once sends me this instant message. Your parents retired to Arizona. Good for them. Well deserved. I reply, they've been absentee grandparents ever since. 3 grandchildren later, and growing. Plus, my mom drew a blank today on what hospital my second son, Arthur, was born in. She actually confused it with Phelps. which is here in Westchester County, outside of Tarrytown, which was very fitting, knowing that after Arthur was born, I didn't sense any rush for my parents to come back east from Arizona, and their excuse was, well, we already booked the flight a week in advance, what's the rush? And I made it very clear that if they ever wanted me to return a misspelled text ever again, it would be in your best interest, Mom, to get on a plane ASAP. This is me explaining to my child, Samuel Teddy Kornbluth, baby, that's what Matilda calls him, otherwise known as Chosen Curls was bound to woo! Headbanger's Ball. Whenever he sticks his tongue out, Jabba, hot, hot hike in the house. So Samuel. I got this awesome like Bruce Lee action figure I got in East Village. It's awesome. It's flexible. Yet he's like super like kettlebell like dense strong solid. Great action figure. It's an exact replica of Bruce Lee. Could be the coolest action figure ever. Anyway, so sometimes due to the fact that I grew up watching WWF, I've got a larger arsenal of like wrestling moves that I can incorporate whenever he wants me to play with his action figures. And I do get carried away with the sound effects. So I decided, and my son Samuel, I literally toughened myself up by letting him punch me in the face. He's very effective when he goes for the, I didn't even teach him this move, where he goes with the uniform, two-fisted punch in the face at the same time. And you never see it coming. And it's very effective. I mean, he's using like minimal, like wasted motion. He's a natural. So anyway, he like play wrestles his brother on the mat now. So I figured he would enjoy watching some Bruce Lee clip on YouTube on TV. So, but before we watch Bruce Lee on TV, this is me explaining Bruce Lee to my 2-year-old boy, Samuel. Bruce Lee was an American, and the Chinese killed him for teaching martial arts secrets to Kareem, who couldn't carry a film based on his force of personality if his life depended on it. It's me at this fancy Italian grocery store that's nearby in Somers called the Chico's. Total godsend. Best beer selection I've ever seen. I pray over-the-hill hipsters don't colonize the neighborhood and ruin the allure of the place completely. Got like an upstairs area, so like Beyond Meat burgers. Turkey burger's phenomenal. Everything there was great. I literally never have to go to Manhattan ever again. If I'm going to drink beer, I would love for that to be my sanctuary. My creative sanctuary down in space. So anyway, so I'm there at the Chico's. And my baby boy Samuel pushes this cart that has like a plastic like flag, and on it, it's like a miniature cart, and it says customer in training. So getting some bread and some rolls. And this older woman is taking immediate interest in Samuel, which is pretty standard practice. And I made her laugh, and I said, after pointing at the sign, this is what I tell her. I said, they should change the sign from customer in training to shishi bitch on the rise. And the older Italian woman laughed, long time! The Obamas are creating podcasts. Dun, dun, dun! Exclusive for Spotify. It's unbelievable. Their participation trophies from Hollywood and big tech never end. Is Ben Rhodes already framing the resistors of the podcast as trans hater warmongers? Is Michelle Obama running for president yet? Has she thrown her cock ring into the ring yet? Ah! What would be her campaign slogan anyway? Obama's 5 o'clock shadow part 2! So obviously the Mueller testimony was a complete debacle. I love it, everyone. On Twitter, it's still trending. Trump's criminal. Blah, blah, blah. I'll give you this much, resistors, okay? Michelle Obama dancing around on Ellen and Slacks, commando style, That was no cover up. Can I get a holla for some more Joan Rivers? Love you, babe. Can't wait to make you laugh once we join. Because I know you feel me already and you can hear me because I'm so loud. I am louder than Busta Rhymes at a midnight showing of Higher Learning. Holla! So I was talking about that girl from my past from Westchester Community College who I'd reach out to on Facebook. I was hyped up on Adderall. I was like reaching out to like everyone, thinking, well, who cares if I ask them for a book review and they tell me to pound salt, and I just decided to have some fun. It's like I tell my kids, you don't ask, you don't get. And we did have some history. Kind of, but not really. If she wasn't annoying, I would have banged her on a regular, but that was not the case. So, and she was a grazer like I established, so that obviously eliminated any allure right there. And I was still in love with Katie, although I never articulated it, because I had no frame of reference at the time. Anyway, so, back to the grazer. The grazer Yenta. Here we go. So, this is another imaginary exchange, rooted in reality. Here we go. She was wondering where I met my wife and where she's from. You know, I told her that she's from Australia. Originally Brisbane, parents moved to Victoria. Told her how we wanted to move there. Not move there, but wanted to get married there. But my mom shot it down immediately because she's a consummate buzzkill personified. She calls me up on the phone and says, son, that's a very long flight from New York, Australia, and your father doesn't love you that much. At the time, I made a compromise with my wife saying, babe, assuming we have a boy one day, instead of hiring a rabbi for the kid's circumcision, we'll hire Crocodile Dundee. Just so we could hear a room full of Jews say, now that's a knife. You could chop it all off with that thing. Hey, iTunes. That joke's not funny enough to give me a new and notable? Dax Shepard producing A-plus material superior to that? I don't think so. Resist this, Gigi. So anyway, the grazer, totally unacceptable move. The grazer. All you gotta do is, very simple. I mean, how do you expect for us to get excited about giving you oral if, like, you can't even show us the respect of giving a blowjob that's grace-free? Just saying. So, back to the grazer. Obviously, I have no intention of working in corporate America ever again. So, the grazer is what she says. She asked me, have you taken your family to Australia yet? And this is my idealized response. Yeah, opening for Jim Jeffries? Sure. Yeah. I love the idea of taking my family of 5 to Australia. You know, assuming I'm opening for Jim Jeffries, while also making a pretty big leap of faith in thinking he could handle my pro-Trumpian material. No problem. Does your husband get cabin fever from your constantly stalled banter, never listing up past Clichéville? Cybertooth Tiger, Grace Country. Have I taken my family to Australia yet? Fly your 1 kid compared to my 3 from New York to Arizona once, and I'll treat your inquiry more seriously. So I came back from the driving range yesterday with my son, Art Show USA. It used to be Art Show, but I love saying Art Show USA. He hugs flags. It's a beautiful thing. So anyway, I'm coming back, and my son bum rushes me, and so does my daughter. Literally, the moment I get back. My daughter says, what took you so long? And I said, were you that miserable without me? And my daughter says, kind of. And I reply, so much for Mom's makeover, making up for my presence when I was gone. This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast. Dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids with comedy can make our kids great again. Do It All Dad Does Jokes, available exclusively on Amazon. Controlling My Kids with Comedy, a love story, available on Amazon too. I was able to get an editor from Parents.com today interested in reading my book. So what does this mean to you? Why do you care? Because it means I'm going to be getting my hardcover ready within the next couple of weeks. So there's a strong possibility you're thinking, you know what? I'm not going to give Michael Kornbluth incredible effusive love on the Kindle just yet because I want the hard copy because it's more momentous and I really want to base a library around it. So I totally get it, and you're forgiven. I love you all, except iTunes, and I'll talk to you guys soon.